Suzanne Morphew is married to Barry Lee Morphew, 52. They apparently met at the Alexandria Monroe High School and were high school sweethearts. They married in 1994 and have been together 32 years. They have 2 daughters, one attending high school and one attending Western Colorado University. Suzanne is apparently a 2-time cancer survivor. In April 2018, the family moved from their home in Arcadia, Indiana, to Salida, Colorado. Apparently, per reports, her cancer had returned as the family was relocating to Colorado. Suzanne's parents were divorced and both had remarried. Her mother passed away in 2013. Per the Colorado Herald, Suzanne's own mother died of cancer, and her father, Gene Moorman, the former owner of the Gene's Root Beer Drive-In restaurant on Scatterfield Road in Anderson, is believed to be living in Michigan. Her stepmother passed away in November 2016. Suzanne has 2 brothers living in Indiana and 1 other sister living in Tennessee. Barry's father passed away in 2006, and his mother lives in Indiana. Barry has 2 sisters who apparently reside in Indiana. Barry currently owns the home where his mother lives in Noblesville, Indiana. The assessed value is $211,000, with the property being acquired in November 2006. Both Suzanne and Barry currently own the home where they lived in Indiana, valued at $690,000, purchased in 2003, and the home in Salida, Colorado, valued at over $1.5 million, purchased in April 2018. Barry also appears to currently own 3 lots. In the last 5 years, various other lots have been sold off. There are a number of businesses registered to Barry Morphew. Some of them include Sunset Tree Farms, BLM Landscaping, BLM Enterprises, Pine Lakes, Pica Farms, Uscape It, most of which have been dissolved. There are no active websites or advertising for businesses. Barry, who was a landscaper in Indiana, now works as a volunteer firefighter for Chaffee County Fire Protection District. He also continues to landscape in Colorado. Suzanne was a teacher at Hamilton Heights in Arcadia, Indiana. She started Suzanne R. Morphew Hope Foundation in Indiana and recently transitioned it to Colorado. Suzanne and Barry are both directors of the foundation, along with 3 other people. Before we launch into the timeline of events, here are some particulars to note. Their 2 daughters were away and returning on May 10th from a camping trip in Idaho. Barry was not home on May 10th. He stated that he was in Denver preparing his workers for a landscaping job which was starting that Monday. Per Chaffee County Fire Chief Robert Bertram, Suzanne was known to go for a bike ride on Sunday mornings before church, and said he did not believe she attended church on May 10th, though he could not be certain. It is important to note that as of June 3rd, no arrests have been made to date. On May 10th, per Barry, on Mother's Day, the daughters tried to reach their mother via text to wish her a happy Mother's Day, but received no response. Following that, one of the daughters called a neighbor and asked her to go check on the house. The neighbor checked the house and saw her car but noted her bike was missing. The neighbor then called Barry in Denver and stated they were all just a bit worried, as was Barry. So Barry suggested she call the police just to be safe. At 5:46 p.m. local time, Chaffee County Communications Center received a report of a missing female in the area on County Road 225 and West Highway 50. Per the press release, members of the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office responded to the area and contacted the reporting party. They advised that their neighbor, Suzanne Morphew, age 49, from the Maysville area, had reportedly gone for a bike ride in the area and failed to return home. Sheriff personnel called members of the Chaffee County Search and Rescue South and North, and a search began immediately. The Department of Corrections was contacted and a request was made for tracking dogs to assist. They responded and joined the search. Per Barry, on the evening of the 10th, before 9 p.m., her bike was found at the bottom of the hill near a tree. Details on the condition of the bike were not provided. Barry then arrived home at 9 p.m. that evening from Denver. On May 11th, search resumed in the area. Per the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office, the search resumed in the early morning hours of May 11th with search and rescue. They once again scoured the area. Members were then called from the Chaffee County TAC team along with search parties from the Department of Corrections, and the area was once again scoured. On May 13th, a dedicated tip line was established by the Colorado Bureau of Investigations. That tip line number is 719-312-7530. Trevor Knoll, Barry's nephew, created a GoFundMe to raise funds for the search of Suzanne Morphew. As of June 3rd, the amount raised was approximately $32,000 of the $50,000 requested. In addition, Trevor Knoll created a Facebook page to provide updates and information about Suzanne. Barry Morphew offered a no-questions-asked $100,000 reward for information leading to the safe return of his wife. A statement was also provided by the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office. A search began immediately. Over the past 4 days, over 100 search personnel from Chaffee County Search and Rescue, Department of Corrections, and the Chaffee County Combined TAC Team have scoured the area. Numerous drones have been used for countless hours to assist in the search. 8 different tracking and scent dogs from the Department of Corrections and the Search and Rescue Dogs of Colorado were deployed to aid in the search. Members from Colorado Parks and Wildlife and the South Ark Swiftwater Rescue Teams have searched area watersheds, and Reach Air Ambulance flew search missions as well. However, Miss Morphew has yet to be located. On May 14th, the reward amount was matched by a family friend for a total reward of $200,000. However, in a video, Barry stated that the reward amount was $210,000. Also, a personal item was found just west of 225 and 50. No details have been provided, except to say that they indicated it was an item belonging to Suzanne. According to The Sun, it was reported that no one had actually seen Suzanne Morphew on a bike before she went missing, adding a major wrinkle to the investigation. Her daughter's friend's mother claims nobody actually saw her on her bicycle, sadly, according to Crime Online. On May 17th, Barry released a video pleading with the public to help find Suzanne. Members of the Pueblo County Sheriff's Office dive rescue team searched water sites in the area. Chaffee County residents were asked to preserve any and all video footage from devices such as Ring doorbells, security cameras, game cameras, etc., from May 8th through May 12th. Note that the cameras at the Morphew home were not working that week. On May 22nd, based on information developed during the Suzanne Morphew missing person case, investigators with the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office, Colorado Bureau of Investigation, and Federal Bureau of Investigation started conducting a search at a residential property near County Road 105 and Vanderveer Road, where Barry was apparently paid to lay dirt. Per the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office, the property owner is fully cooperative with law enforcement and is not connected with the disappearance of Miss Morphew. On May 24th, per the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office, the 3-day search conducted at a residence on County Road 105 on the east side of Salida concluded. Investigators with the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office, CBI, and FBI went to the site to follow up on leads developed during the course of the Suzanne Morphew missing person case. Investigators searched several locations on the property. However, they were unable to make any connection to Suzanne Morphew's case at this time. Details about the search are not available, as this was part of the active investigation. On May 26th, The Morphew home, which was held by law enforcement through a search warrant since May 10th, was released back to the family, and the investigators' efforts involved review and follow-up on tips reported to the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office. To date, there have been more than 400 calls to the tip line designated to collect information related to Miss Morphew's missing person case. This is a very interesting case because her life seemed perfect. At least it appeared to be perfect. They appear to have a wonderful relationship, have been together for a long time, seem to have money, and a loving family. In many ways, it is very mysterious. Even though we have limited information, let's dive deeper. Here are some potential scenarios. One possible scenario is that she left on her own accord. Was she unhappy with her life? Per her posts, this would not seem likely. Even if her husband was controlling, would she really leave her children behind? If she was worried, I'm guessing she would have notified her family or authorities. Some noted that he was controlling, but if so, she knew this and had stuck with him, so why leave now? If she didn't want to stay with him, she could have stayed in Indiana versus moving with him to Colorado. We do know she just celebrated her birthday with her husband and appeared to be happy. She also mentioned in the past that she is looking forward to 20 more years together. Or is this what they wanted us to believe? Either way, this scenario seems like a stretch. However, I'm not ruling this out totally without additional information. We are not aware of the dynamics and details, and this is key to understanding what might have happened. People show you what they want you to see, but not the bad stuff. The love and affection does seem to be genuine, but again, you never know what is under the covers. Another possible scenario is that she committed suicide. We all know that she is a cancer survivor, and so this one also seems like a stretch since she apparently beat cancer. It would have been easy to give up and lose that fight. However, without knowing her state of mind, this would be difficult to rule out. Again, if she was suicidal, she would not say looking forward to the next 20 years. She also seemed to love her daughters, and I'm sure she would have loved to be part of their lives. It is a possible scenario, but I think a highly unlikely one. Another possible scenario is that she was hit by a car and they dumped her bike and her body somewhere to hide the crime. I actually think this scenario is highly likely. It is not a stretch to think that someone might have hit her by accident, became terrified, did not know what to do, and in a panic they take the body and hide it somewhere, but leave the bike behind for people to find so that someone knows something did happen. Perhaps they were under the influence or something else and did not report it because it was truly their fault. This is a possible scenario. Reviewing the condition of the bike, determining if there was any other paint on it, I think that investigating the bike would provide further clues as to whether this scenario is real. Another possible scenario is that she was abducted and could still be alive. However, it is now June and you would think that a ransom call would have been made by now and the deal would be done. Crimes are frequently carried out by acquaintances, and in this case, it sounds like others knew she went on Sunday bike rides. At this point, you need to talk with all of the folks that knew that her husband and daughters were out of town and bike riding was in her plans for that Sunday. Another possible scenario is that she was murdered. Intent or motive is the focus here. Why would someone want to kill her? Were there any financial issues, relationship issues? Is the husband involved? This scenario typically becomes the first one that is investigated thoroughly because the spouse is closest to the person. Establishing a motive would be key to prosecution. In addition, you can't rule out an accident. If they got into an argument and was accidentally killed, all of these are possible scenarios. I'm sure that the police are looking at all of the possible scenarios because if you put all of your efforts into one scenario and that scenario comes to a dead end, they are then lost and the case gets cold. Things to consider. Who spoke to her last? Who saw her last? What was her state of mind? Was she planning to go for a bike ride? Were there any arguments? Did Barry ever threaten in any way? Cell tower, pings for her phone and Barry's phone. the condition of the bike and evidence around it, fingerprints, other paint on the bike, etc., the condition of the personal item and evidence around it, the financial situation of the family, were they in debt, if so, how much, any insurance policies, and so forth. Who stands to gain by her death? Who has access to the house? It seems the neighbor was able to enter the garage and see that the bike was missing, or was the bike stored outside? All of these are questions that need answers. Do they owe anyone money? Why didn't Barry or the girls call the police? All in all, one thing is for sure, it is an odd time for people to be gone since we are all under quarantine. I'm sure there are other scenarios. Let us know in the comments below what you think. To hear more about missing persons or homicides, please subscribe to our channel. Click the notification bell and join in on our crime chats. Thank you for watching.